Kyle, I feel like someone needs to do a Martin Luther and put a list of 95 things wrong with WoW in the Blizzard HQ doors and lead a group of people to to fix FF14. So this is framing Yoshi P as Martin Luther. Protestant Reformation Martin Luther.
Yeah. So, in terms of the spirit of it, yes. However, the comparison of Yoshi P to religious figure and also the comparison of Square Enix to the Catholic Church is maybe a little bit much for my taste, even though I completely understand.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I do basically think that, like, there's a whole bunch of easy-to-solve problems with WoW. At some point, I want to do a longer on this shit.
Yeah.
But it's like things that just feel like it's changing a bit of like how they think about things and just a few small little implementation things, and I think the game could be so much better. So I feel like basically, here's a top 10 or top 20 list internally at the team. Let's just do these things ASAP. They're good, better.
That'd be good.
Simple as. Dastil. When was the lore better? Warcraft days, early WoW days, mid or current WoW days? Is it getting better or worse? The lore's been different. I just think that playing Warcraft 3, it's like you're playing a, single player narrative.
Yeah.
It's just different. The lore of World of Warcraft, it was like fun exploring Azeroth, finding out what it is and all that stuff in vanilla, but vanilla didn't have much of a story.
Yeah.
Like, it had big events happening that mattered to the world, and I think that was super effective because it's the setting evolving, and then that's, great for a player's fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Similar with TBC, just the TBC was a bit of a disaster for the lore. I mean, it established loads of great things that would pay off incredibly right now. Well, not right now, but, in Legion and stuff. But, like, how they handled Illidan. I mean, Metzen admitted that was not great.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think the best days of the lore... The best days of, like, World of Warcraft, we're all talking about the lore, is probably, like, Wrath, Mop, Legion. I say Wrath because Arthas, we're in Northrend, cool. I say Mop because it felt really rich and well developed by the time you get into it. And I say Legion because it's just a bunch of cool shit going on.
Yeah, they're all very different flavors.
Yeah.
And I think Mop is probably, in a lot of ways, the reason I enjoyed it so much from a lore perspective. Is that it was very vanilla-y in a way, in that it was just all these people that you're going and solving small scale problems and learning stuff, and then they tied it really well in the same way they did with Wrath, where they tied it really well into the overall story. But I feel like Wrath didn't do a super great job of going and finding these indigenous people in this place and learning about their culture. It did a little bit of that quite well, but a lot of it was more chasing Arthas around, or it felt a little bit like that.
Honestly, I enjoyed.
Yeah, which was good. Having Arthas show up every now and again. There was a villain that felt like a villain.
Yes.
And that was really cool.
That was big, because TBC didn't have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kata didn't.
No.
Definitely didn't feel like a villain. I mean, he obviously was, but, it was just that thing. If you felt like, oh yeah, Arthas, we've had a few scraps, and now it's time for the big fight at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the Wrath was good at that. Mop blended that well. It didn't have a specifically singular villain, so much as it did have this undercurrent of evil and villainy. So you were fighting against the Shah everywhere you went, but you weren't fighting against the Shah, you were fighting against whatever problem would manifest the Shah.
Yeah.
So I think that was really interesting, and I kind of liked that as you progressed around and, solving those problems. But the Legion was just more... It was the modern style done correctly because it had loads of content.
Yeah.
Because you had all of those kind of goofy little cutscenes, but you were the leader of your class hall, and you felt it.
Yeah, that was it. It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it even worked in spite of there being a million other Paladins and Lashbringers.
Yeah,
it surprised me.
Just didn't matter.
But it felt
suspension of disbelief. I think that's what you can do when it comes to other characters in your MMO. When you're in that cutscene, as long as there's no one else in frame with an Ashbringer, you'll still be like, cool. I'm maybe not I'm as cool as the original owner of the Ashbringer, but I've got this. This is cool. I'm going to use it properly.
Just like the fantasy worked.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Did.
Yeah, so, it's a complex question, but I think that, and as for why BFA hasn't been mentioned, it was shit. Like, BFA was interesting in terms of some of the world building, for sure, but it rocketed through, like, 2 or 3 expansions worth of lore so fast that it didn't give any of it justice, including, and especially, the Battle for Azeroth bit.
Yeah.
Where it never felt like a battle. And then as for Shadowlands, yeah, again, it's that thing of... I don't think it's been the best told story, and I think that it's a bit of a kind of feels like a non sequitur because it's like, why are we in the afterlife? It's not the setting that I would go to.
Yeah, we know why lore wise, we know why the story events, but it's like, what are we doing here? Come on, keep us somewhere we actually know and want to be and develop it.
It's like, if I wasn't so into the world building and working out the WoW universe, I'd be thinking they've jumped the shark, and I have to imagine that a lot of players who don't engage with the lore the way that we do maybe feel that way.
Yeah, like this is the part that bugs me, and it's been ever since we recorded lore walking this week. It's really bugged me because like downstairs there's a bookshelf beside me, and we don't have loads of books because most of mine are at my family home, but there's a couple books on the shelf from Warcraft, and there's a copy of Shadows Rising that I never read because I kind of saw I saw the important bits. Basically, like you were telling me about them, or like Warcraft Lore was posting about them, the subreddit. So I never read it. And then I sat down and read a couple of chapters that were relevant to what we were going to talk about on the podcast. And I went, fuck, this is really good. Shit. Oh, damn. And then it happened again today when I was looking into stuff for that Anduin thing, for the Anduin bit. Then I saw someone recommend Blood of the Fathers.
Yeah.
And I never read Blood of the Fathers because I don't even know where half of those short stories come from on the site. They're just there one day. So I've not read like a couple of them. And I'd never read that one. So then I was reading and I was like, holy shit. And I think I read half of it maybe, and really quickly, just to kind of get the points of it. And I was like, it is unbelievable how much more I understand Anduin and Varian from reading those, from reading the Anduin segment in Shadows Rising, from reading Blood of the Fathers, and then thinking about that through thinking what the compass would mean to Anduin.
And what percentage of World of Warcraft players will now, like you, be able to get the full meaning?
Yeah.
The actual question.
Single digits if you're lucky.
I mean, okay, in that case, let's just grab a straw poll. Is that what people use?
I think they use, I don't know, probably, but...
So I'm going to make a straw poll for this. I'm going to spam it in chat. Yeah. So what are they called?
What are they called?
The things.
Oh, the books or novels or chapters ever?
The things for Anduin here.
Oh, the things?
The transmedia narrative.
Oh, right.
That connects into Anduin.
Blood of the Fathers, Shadows Rising, and there's Before the Storm is a lot of Anduin, does it? Or does it not? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually don't know anything more than Blood of the Fathers and Shadows Rising. I don't know if he appears.
I mean, there's also things like Wolfheart.
Does he appear in Wolfheart significantly? Yeah.
Well, like it's Varian and stuff, but it's fine. Yeah. So, which of these have you read? And I will allow for multiple choices. I will create the poll.
Yeah. Because that stuff, like I
shall share the poll in chat. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm spamming it in chat, everyone.
Yeah.
That's not how. Hello?
Is he? Where's it going?
Huh.
I don't see it here. Hello?
There it is. So you see that poll I just put in, guys? Let us know.
There we go.
There's a bunch of them. Let us know which ones you have done. And we should be able to bring that up on our screen share.
Away, you bastard. Results.
And yeah, if you click results.
Oh, wow. What a surprise.
So.
What a surprise.
So, now, if anyone Blizz is watching here, I mean, probably not. Maybe they'll come across this. Maybe not.
If you are, I'm sorry.
This is an issue. Now,
problem.
All this content's great. Before the Storm, Shadows Rising, Blood of the Fathers.
Blood of the Fathers is fantastic. I would highly recommend it.
Great stuff.
Fantastic.
But we're in a situation where, and which one of these would you say is the most impactful?
The most impactful currently is Blood of the Fathers.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
I'd say Shadows Rising is close because of almost like in the journey, Blood of the Fathers is really important to us. his relationship with Varian, but then Shadows Rising is important to how he is as a king
Yeah.
and how he deals with that burden.
And like the way that we've done this is,
Yep.
multiple choice, right? So this is truly what everybody has or hasn't done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the most ideal poll,
It's definitely not like
Few issues, but
this
it's a
wouldn't
bit
stand
quick.
up to like
but
scrutiny, but
it's just that thought, right? Of everybody who responded to this, of near 600 people, only 22 have
Yeah.
read Blood of the Fathers. And Blood of the Fathers is pretty major
yeah,
for being able to fully appreciate, stuff happening in Anduin's new arc.
yeah,
Shadows Rising is decently important for understanding a bunch of core lore concepts as we move into the next thrust of World of Warcraft.
yep,
And here, 11%. And you have to then remember, you guys are engaged in WoW.
yeah. That,
You're
I was about to say.
watching. You're watching two dickheads talk about World of Warcraft on your Friday evening. You're engaged in WoW. So we are the people who should have, we are the people for which, we should have the deepest, like, sort of penetration of
Yeah.
of this transmedia narrative content. Should be us.
Yep.
Us people. So of all of us people, the people who absolutely should know the most and have engaged in the most transmedia narrative content, still 22.
Yeah,
Another 100 people have voted. Not a single one of them have done Blood of the Fathers. And obviously this is not scientific, but I would have thought that someone says I'm playing for I'm paying for a game with a story, not a book. Yet now it's the sort of thing I am happy for. There's like the FF encyclopedia and stuff.
Yeah.
That's grand. I'm happy with that, and Chronicle and stuff. But I do feel like the character stuff, you really need that to be in the game.
yeah, for sure.
And then sometimes it's in the game, but it's in those stay a while and listen
Yeah,
things, which a lot of people will skip. And there's people saying, Arthur in there says, to be fair, I get my lore fix from your videos.
that's
Such people don't get it from in game.
But that's the thing. We won't deliver all of the details that are great about the character story. We'll deliver the important like lore plot points to see where the game's going, because
Yeah.
we're not about to read out a book essentially,
Yeah,
or give you even doing a book report wouldn't do it justice, because you kind of, I mean, it's the same when you read stuff. You kind of feel it. You just actually experiencing it yourself is different. But
Yeah.
one of the things I see people say in chat, like, don't want to buy it, already buy it, can't afford it even.
Blood of the Fathers is free.
It's just on the website.
It's a PDF.
Yeah,
It's
That's it.
free. And I guess you don't know about it.
yeah.
And I'm not angry at anybody in chat.
I didn't know about it till today.
This is Blizzard's fault. This is their
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So there we go. 23 votes.
23, nice.
Another person has read. And I'm just saying, this is a problem because the people doing the story in World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
they know all this.
Yeah,
They know all of these contents, and it's based on all of this that they write WoW characters.
yeah,
So, yeah, man.
yeah. It's completely insane.
The lore's got to be in the game. The character motivations all have to be in the game. So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah. Here's one of the fun things as well about this in general. I'll not do another poll, but I'd love to know how many people understand Anduin's association with the light. Because
Don't know.
when has that ever been in game? You know he's a priest when you meet him in MoP.
Just that I see loads of people still say that he's a paladin.
Yeah, because he wears heavy armor, which is kind of major characters don't adhere to class rules.
Yeah.
Because he kind of went priest, but he's a warrior priest, which is a paladin, but isn't. But like, how many people know he was a priest? Beyond him using mind control in Mists. How many people remember him as a child? How many people know what journey he went through growing up?
It's such a big journey.
Yeah, and then how many like the way I feel people know about Anduin being like what I call a priest is Hearthstone, as someone said, and also is like paladin nature from the BFA cinematic, where he has a big cry up at the sky, and it resurrects everyone, and that feels like a really cool moment. Now that I've read Blood of the Fathers, and I've seen a bit of Shadows Rising, I understand a lot of his like motivation and relationship with the light, and that's why his relationship with Shadow is so different and so like weird to him, especially now. And it's just like that stuff's just missing for people.
Yeah.
Whenever he first actually goes, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to blast someone with void because I need to. The first time he does that is going to be huge.
Massive.
For the character. It's going to be huge for what I think about him.
Yeah, it's going to be really well established in the books as well.
But for most people, going to be like, oh, there's a paladin. What's going on?
They're not going to get it. Yeah, they're going to be too busy being confused to appreciate the story that's being told to them, and it wouldn't be their fault.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of an issue. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There we go for for that one. Don't worry, we will help you in the story issue. We are doing a lot of work on that right now. It'll just take a while to get going, but there you go. There's our little experiment. That was a fun 7 minutes.